My name is Trey Hornbuckle.
My name is Bracken Smith.
TJ Spagnoletti.
Zach Johnson.
My name is Taylor Scott. I'm the owner and founder of D1 Sports Training in Tampa and the Trench Training Systems.
Don't touch the ball, it's over, call it close, but we all know what this is gonna be. You came and failed the test, you met the...
Here at the Trench Academy, my experience has been great. It's been wonderful, everything that I expected it to be.
My experience at the Trench Academy has been a long, a tough, but a really rewarding one.
The experience that I've had here has been stressful and frustrating at times, but it's definitely been an amazing experience.
Experience down here has been great. Being able to work with Coach Taylor and his staff has been phenomenal.
Expected chess, but got monopoly. I came and bought you out, I knocked you out, I cropped you out with no apologies. I am the hope, the heart, the faith, the spark, the one who will fulfill the prophecy.
Typical day in the combine, one thing that really kind of separates us apart is the fact that, we have everything here under one roof. And so the typical day with combine, we'll look at the guys come in. The first thing we want to do is take care of their bodies. Typically, they're generally pretty sore from the day before. And then obviously one of the biggest things is just being able to manage the grind of a season. These guys will come in the mornings. The first thing they'll do is they'll come into our recovery center here. They'll get cryotherapy, Normatec compression treatment, infrared sauna. We'll set them up with electrostim, ice, any ultrasound, anything they might need, whether it's the Ther laser. And obviously we have Derek, who's our full-time physical therapist on staff. He would take care of any kind of ailments or injuries or anything that's bothering the guys during the day. Right after that, we'd hit the field for our speed and combine specific work. Once we get done with that, once again, we'll have another treatment session, and then we'll go back into the weight room. Go into the weight room for about an hour and a half, and then once again, we'll break for lunch. These guys, all their meals will be prepared for them here. We have our own restaurant here in-house that we literally will customize these guys' diets, build out, their macros, everything that they might need. Then from there, they'll have their custom diet plan. They go eat, and then after they get done eating, we do position work. I think that's one thing that makes us so different than a lot of combine places out there. A lot of places look for the combine specific measurables as the end all be all. And we understand as former football players as well as coaches that, that's a part of the interview that gets your foot in the door. But the reality is we've got to create better ball players from college to the NFL. And we work position work every single day. So once they finish up with their position work, they'll get another round of therapy. And generally we like to get the guys in, get the guys out. Day will start about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we usually get them out about 3 or 4 o'clock.
Taylor here at the Trench does a phenomenal job. Being able to work with their players and being able to get that connection is a huge thing. And me coming out of college, I personally thought that was a huge role in being able to connect with the guy that I don't even know where I'm coming from, from over states, and being able to have a relationship with a guy is a phenomenal thing to have. So I got on the phone with him and I was able to speak with him a little bit, and we found a connection and had the same mindset when coming into what we wanted to accomplish at the end of the day. So when it came down to it, we both had the same mindset and goals, and being able to accomplish those goals at the end of this 8 weeks was a huge thing of mine.
My favorite thing about Combine, I've been doing it for a long time now, and is that every group is different. Every athlete is different. I personally learn I learn just as much from the athletes as they learn from me. People ask me all the time, what do you keep the same? And the reality is nothing. I mean, of course, we have the workouts and we have the methodology that's led us to a lot of success, but we truly customize everything to every single individual that comes through the door. And I think that my favorite part about it is just the overall culture. These guys are having this big milestone in their life of, getting ready for one of the biggest interviews of their life. And just the idea to be able to impact these individuals and be able to train with them and be a part of that process is really special to me. And it's one thing that, as former ball players, between myself and the rest of the coaching staff, we understand the importance and the gravity of the situation. We also understand what it's like to be in that athlete's mindset. And we don't take that for granted. I mean, we love every bit of it. It's like a family culture here, and this is literally their home away from home.
One of the main things that I learned while I was here was the breathing techniques used during certain exercises like bench and 40 times. Before learning those, I would get exhausted and I wouldn't get the numbers I would want, but after learning how to breathe the correct way, then the numbers started to shoot up exponentially. So
definitely one of the things I think I've improved most on since I've been here is my linear speed and acceleration. Coach Taylor has done a really good job of breaking down everything we do, but especially for me, the 40, because I know exactly what I want to do and he knows what I want to do in that. So he's done a really good job of helping me better my technique, help me build acceleration. And that's with the lifts we do in here, and then also out on the field, teaching me exactly how I need to start and do things like that. So that way when I go out to my pro day, I can do better.
I guess the biggest thing to expect from me is this is not going to be the easiest process in the world. I will tell you this, like one thing about our program here, and you can hear it from not just myself, but any of the athletes that we train, is this is not for everybody. This particular facility, we have all the bells and whistles, we have all the new school science, but it's mixed with a very old school mentality of the fact that we are literally going to outwork everyone that's there. Because the reality is, you know, you've got at least 320 athletes that are coming, whether it's with the draft or undrafted free agents. You got about 320 new athletes that'll be going into NFL camps every single year. And it's not that 320 guys retired, right, every single year. So it's not like we're just replacing old athletes that aren't there anymore. Not only are you going to have to come in, but not only are you going to have to come in and be able to beat out your peers, but you're going to have to basically go in and take somebody's position. You're going to have to go in and take somebody's job. And so we have that kind of competitive atmosphere every single day. We understand what's at stake. And I think one thing that we do that's so different than any other place that you can go out there is the fact that we focus so much on not just creating great combine athletes, we focus on creating great ball players. You know, most facilities would look at once their athletes go to the Indy or they go to their pro day, it's like, okay, we've done our job, right? Wipe our hands of it, and if they ran good numbers, we're done. So they look at it as the finish line. We look at it as the starting line. Like literally the combine is where your career starts, right? Then after that, you would have private workouts. Then after that, you would have meetings. Then after that, you would have, you know, obviously the draft. Then after the draft, you have, you know, rookie mini camp. Then you have OTAs. Then you have actual camp. And at the end of the day, one thing we pride ourselves in is not just getting guys on teams, or excuse me, not just getting guys contracts, but actually get them on teams and making 53-man rosters. And at the end of the day, you're gonna check the box with all your measurables, but we're gonna make you a better ball player as well. And I think that's really what makes us different than everything else out there, is it's all ball all the time. And if that's something that as an athlete that intrigues you to be a part of an elite group that truly outworks everyone else, like kind of like almost this special ops type of unit that is driving for success every day, and you want to be a part of that atmosphere, this is going to be the place for you. If your idea is to just kind of put it on cruise control and work your way through it and see what happens, you're not going to enjoy it here.
So my pro day is coming up here in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and my goal ultimately, as far as the pro day goes, I want to run a 4.240. I definitely think that's possible, especially with how Coach Taylor has prepared me, and obviously just utilize my talents and my abilities at my pro day to show scouts what I can do and end up making it to the next level.
Ultimately, my goal is to ball out at pro day and make a 53-man roster, and you know that's what I'm looking forward to after pro day, is to open those scouts' eyes. And I believe that Coach Taylor has me more than prepared. You know, I feel ready. I'm confident in my abilities, so I'm just ready to go show the scouts who I am, what I'm about, and whoever takes that chance on me, they're not making a mistake.
The reason I came to the trench is obviously because I want to make it to the next level, and as a lot of many athletes do, being able to execute that goal has a lot to do with where you go and what you do, and the places, the facilities, and all that stuff. And all that stuff comes into play of what you want to do with your life and how you're going to get to that, achieve that goal. So when I was coming down to it, I talked to Coach Taylor, and we had a great conversation on the phone, just having that connection and being able to get to that next level and understanding what you have to do to achieve those goals is a lot more than you think. But when it comes down to it, execution of what we're doing here will get you to that goal.